Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Maggie Nolan here with Living Radiant Photography. I am in my boudoir studio today, coming at you live. This is my first live video, and I thought it'd be fun to hop on here and basically just do a little Q&A. I have gone asked a lot of times, have you guys always done wedding photography? And let me give you some background. Patrick is my husband and my business partner. We are a Baltimore top 10 wedding photography team out of Baltimore, Maryland. And this is what we do full time. We shoot 30 to 40 weddings a year. And the reality is that we fell into the wedding world totally by accident. We didn't wake up thinking we were going to be wedding photographers. We didn't think that this would be our life ever. And it's like it's the coolest job. We have the best clients, the most fun, adventurous couples on the planet. And so I wanted to share how we got into this. First and foremost, I have been shooting since I was 7 years old. I started with a little Kodak 35 millimeter film camera. Patrick's been shooting since high school, and I have every vacation, every snowboarding trip, every like anything documented. My poor mom growing up, I feel so bad because I would take pictures, she would buy me film, and then we'd go to BJ's or Sam's Club or Walmart to develop it. If you remember that, the word develop. And they're all downstairs in a cabinet, so disorganized. I need to take time and go through it. My photo life for our clients is so much more organized than it is for my personal life. Like on my phone is like my whole life not printed. So I'm a huge fan of printing your wedding. So obviously that's my job. But anyway, we fell into the wedding world totally by accident. Patrick and I met back in 2010 after college when I moved home. And at the time I was getting ready to start a new job teaching kindergarten, which is like so random because I'm not a teacher. Like I'm not a kid teacher. And Patrick had just been recruited to go play minor league baseball. I said major league, minor league baseball. And so we were friends that whole year, long distance. And it was in November of that year that we started dating. That fall, we met our very first couple ever, Chris and Ashley, and we're grateful for them. We had never shot a wedding before. They asked me to do it. I called Patrick or text him or whatever we did back in 2010 and said, hey, will you do this wedding with me? And he said yes because he liked me, not because he wanted to do the wedding. So we did the wedding together our first wedding was October 29th. I think that's their wedding anniversary, October 29th, 2011. It rained, it snowed. I looked at their photos and I'm like, holy moly, we'd love a redo. Based off of what we know right now, it just was like a crazy day. I think we only charged them like $500, which I still think is so wild. And we shot the wedding. We delivered it, and they love their photos. They're friends of ours. They have twins, and they were a great client. Well, from that, we posted the pictures on Facebook because Facebook, I guess, was still like within 5 years new at the time. And then from there, we got more weddings. And it's so interesting, between 2011 of October and to when we got engaged, which was March of 2013, we'd only shot like 6 or 8 weddings. And again, they were all referrals. We weren't doing any advertising. We weren't doing anything. It was just word of mouth, referral, things like that. And what I think is like so interesting is that it took me losing my job for us to actually go full time. So let me back up a little bit. Like I said, we had shot about 6 to 8 weddings between 2011 and 2013. And I, at the time, was like not super happy in my job. I had stopped teaching. I then was at a marketing agency in Baltimore. And I just didn't feel like I was doing what I was created to do. And I was trying to figure out how on earth I could do things that I was passionate about and get paid for. And I just wasn't. The job that I had, it just wasn't very fulfilling. And I think back to our wedding day, which was November 2nd. Okay, November 2nd of 2013, best wedding ever. That's our wedding anniversary. We absolutely loved it. We absolutely loved our wedding day. And I just remember even while planning my wedding day, I just was like, gosh, like I'm looking at wedding blogs and I'm looking at magazines, and it's just like, I want to be in this world. But I was stuck in the marketing job that I had, and the wedding world was still really foreign to me. I didn't understand the trends in the industry. And it wasn't until May of 2014. Patrick and I were newlyweds living in 500 square feet in Ellicott City in a tiny house. I lost my job. My bosses let me go, sent me on my way. I went in on a Friday and left that same day without a job. They were really sweet. They were, willing to help me find another job, but my time there was just done. And at the time, I was obviously really emotional because I lost my job, but Patrick, being the man that he is, basically said, why don't we do what everyone has told us we should do? And I was like, you're crazy, like become wedding photographers? And he said, yeah, like what's the worst thing that can happen? So we did. So we did bridal shows. We made it Facebook official. We told our friends and family we were going to do this, and we were figuring out logos and websites. And guys, this is where it gets really cool. So we, when I lost my job in May, I had about 5 or 6 weddings on the calendar. That was it. Some of them were backyard style, 20 people. They weren't in my head these grandiose, so luxury weddings. They just were, I didn't know the difference at the time. I just was like, you know what? I want to show up and do really good work for people. And I have 6 weddings, and that's awesome. And I also started working part-time for a florist. So that's just some a fun fact. I worked for about almost a year, probably 9 months, with one of Baltimore's best floral designers. I started with her to help her with website stuff and office stuff. In it, I started learning about the industry, and then she hired me to do jobs beyond that were photography related. And the wedding world was just so attractive to me. I was actually in it. And by December, I basically had to tell her, hey, we're booking, and I don't think I'm going to be able to work for you anymore. So if you can imagine, in 18 months, we went from 6 weddings in May to 46 weddings by the end of the following year. So we literally grew from 6 weddings to 10. We shot 10 that year. And then the following year, we shot, what's the math? 31. Does that sound right? Which I think is insane. It might have been more. I want to say that first 2015, we shot 35 weddings. So that's crazy. We went from 10 to 35 in a whole year. So that's just to encourage y'all watching this. But that's kind of the Q&A of how we got here, how we became wedding photographers. We weren't sure if we were going to sink or float. We just knew that Patrick and I loved what we did. We loved the weddings that we had shot together. And we thought, let's just see what happens. So that's our story. You're welcome to ask more questions below. I hope this was a cool story for you of how we became wedding photographers, because we have been photographers our whole life, but we never saw weddings on the radar. And we're so, so glad that this is our life. We're so glad that we have these amazing clients. We shoot between 30 and 40 weddings a year. Most of them do engagement sessions. We double date almost all of them so we can build a relationship with them going into the wedding day. And yeah, that's our story. So that's how we became wedding photographers. We hope you love it. Be sure to subscribe. We have lots of more videos coming. And yeah, we're really excited for the future and for 2020. It's January 30th when I'm filming this. And yeah, wedding season starts in April. So have a great day, and we'll talk to you guys soon.